Good, happy morning, pre-algebra students. Today is a happy Wednesday, and here's our joke. What is the last thing that goes through a bug's mind when it hits a windshield? So you're driving down with your Honda and a bug slams into the windshield. What's the last thing that goes through its mind? Well, that could only be its butt. That's right, it's butt. Alright, enough dry humor. Today we are going to continue to use our application of percents, and the last thing we're going to look at before we have a review tomorrow and then a test on Friday is using a circle graph. And how do we use percents to write a circle graph, or what kind of information can we gain from the circle graph? So I am at page 380. You might want to turn there and look with me at the book while I go through it. Alright, so our first example, example number 1, it says construct a circle graph from percents. So we are given some information. So there are 360 degrees in a circle. So multiply each percent by 360 to find the number of degrees for each section of the graph. So I will provide you with a protractor. From there, you should be able to make out the rest and be able, I'm going to do the best that I can, I'm just going to guess, estimate from what I know here on my graph right now. So our information is that we're given that the vocals make up of 35%. So I'm just going to start with, my graph is going to look a little bit different than theirs. You want to start out with one straight as you can do line. So the vocals are 35%. And what I would do to find out the degrees is I would multiply 35% by 360. So that's 0.35 times 360. And that gets me 126. So I would then measure out 126 degrees. So I know if I go, that's about like, probably about that. Okay? So, pretty plain and simple. We've got 360 degrees inside a circle. So you would multiply the percent times 360. And that would get you your angle for your chart. So you do your percent times 360. And it's pretty plain and simple. So I'm going to use this information for number 1 at the very bottom, right where it says pizza. So it says, in a recent survey, 34% of kids surveyed said they like cheese pizza. So 34 is pretty close to 35, so I'm going to say that this is 34% cheese. Alright, the next one, 28% chose pepperoni. So I'm going to say 28 is pretty close to 25, and I know 25 is a right triangle. So that's probably going to be, I'm going to say about that. So this is 28%. Remember, I'm guessing. I don't want you to guess. I want you to use a protractor. And 21% chose mushroom, and 17 chose other. So 21 is pretty close to 90%, so that's going to be something like this. And that's mush. And then we're left with 17%, and this is other. I don't know what's popping up there. That's kind of weird. Alright, and it's just plain and simple. You're just creating a normal chart, a normal pie chart, using that information. So remember, percent times 360, and that's how you get your angle. So use your protractors, get those as close as you can marks, so that you can get an accurate pie chart. Let's move on to the next page. 381, example number 2. Construct a circle graph from data. Data means a bunch of numbers. So here we go. We're given this chart on the right, and it says home heating. And it says there's all the different ways that people can heat their homes. So it's given you number of homes and then all the different types of fuel. So the first thing is we're not given a total. So you got to count up all your numbers and you get a total. So we see they counted them up and they said we have a total of 200. All right. Now the next thing is that we've got to find percentages for these homes. Because remember, for our circle chart, pie chart, we need percents. So let me get, wow, look how great that is. Am I amazing? Draw a perfect circle. So we've got to figure out what are our percents. So we have 200 total, and now we just break it down step by step. So the first one, bottled gas, we do 12 divided by 200, and that would get us 0.06, which equals 6%. So that means 6% of homes heat their homes with bottled gas. All right, and you go down through the rest of the list. I won't do this totally just because I don't want to take up your time. But remember, you've got to find your percents, and then you would take that and convert it onto your chart. So let's find something that's kind of nice. We see, 100. I know that 100, if we have 100 homes out of 200, that's going to be 50%. So I know that half is going to be using piped gas. So I'm going to say this side, 50% piped gas. So this is probably in the lower 48. Most homes have a natural gas system that plugs right into their homes. And that's something that they have to pay by the month, kind of similar to your fuel oil, where you have to pay, I guess, by the barrel. This is a service that you would get through living in a city, typically, and then you would just have to pay for it monthly based on how much you use. All right, so that's how we convert it, is that I would say, 50% of 360 is 180. So that's how you would find how to graph it and how to put it on your pie chart. Okay, if you're really struggling with this idea, call me over and I will help you. Otherwise, I'm going to end the video here, keep it short. I hope that you get the idea. You would go through and find the rest of the percents, just like it shows you on your page in your workbook. And really try your best. You are doing very well in pre-algebra. Keep it up. All right, I will see you in real life. Bug.